Chapter 4. This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth for ever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take heed of it, walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. Jew not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to God are made known unto verses. Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved God to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemies. For ye provoked him that made you, by sacrificing unto idols, and not to God. Ye have forgotten the everlasting God, that brought you VP, and ye how grewed Jerusalem that nursed you. For when she saw the wrath of God seeming upon you, she said, Hearken, O ye that dwell about Shin, God hath brought VP me great mourning. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought on them. With eye did I nourish them, but sent them away with weeping and mourning. Let no man raise o'er me a widow, and forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children am left desolate, because they departed from the law of God. They knew not his statutes, nor walked in the wise of his commandments, nor trode in the paths of discipline in his righteousness. Let them that dwell about Shin come, and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting hath brought on them. For he hath brought a nation on them from far, a shameless nation, and of a strange language, who neither reverenced old man, nor pitied child. These how carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone, desolate without daughters. But what can I help you? For he that brought these plagues upon you, will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. Go your way, O my children, go your way, for I am left desolate. I how put off the clothing of peace, and put on me the sackcloth of my prayer. I will cry unto the everlasting in my days. Be of good cheer, O my children, cry unto the Lord, and he shall deliver you from the power and hand of the enemies. For my hope is in the everlasting that he will saw you, and I is come unto me from the Holy One, because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting our Sawyer. For I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but God will do you to me again, with eye and gladness for your. Like as now the neighbors of Shin have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our God, which shall come upon you with great glory, and brightness of the everlasting. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from God, for thine enemy hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck. My delicate ones how gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto God, for you shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. For as it was your mind to go astray from God, so being returned seek him 10 times more. For he that hath brought these plagues upon you shall bring you your lasting joy again with your salvation. Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoiced at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children strewed. Miserable is she that received thy sons. For as she raised at thy ruin, and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grewed for her own desolation. For I will take away the reowing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. For fire shall come upon her for the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of duels for a great time. O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the eye that cometh unto thee from God. Lo, thy sons come whom thou sentest away, they come gathered together from the east to the west, by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of God.
Chapter 5. Put off, O Jerusalem, the garment of thy mourning and affliction, and put on the comeliness of the glory that cometh from God for your. Cast about thee a double garment of the righteousness which cometh from God, and set a diadem on thine head of the glory of the everlasting. For God will shoot thy brightness unto your country their home. For thy name shall be called of God for your, the peace of righteousness, and the glory of God's worship. Rise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high, and look about toward the east, and behold thy children gathered from the west and toward the east by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the remembrance of God. For they departed from thee on foot, and were led away of their enemies, but God bringeth them unto thee exalted with glory, as children of the kingdom. For God hath appointed that high hill and banks of long continuance should be cast down, and valleys filled VP to make you in the ground, that Israel may go safely in the glory of God. Moreover, you in the woods, and your sweet-smelling tree, shall ourshadow Israel by the commandment of God. For God shall lead Israel with eye in the light of his glory, with the mercy and righteousness that cometh from him.
Chapter 6. A copy of an epistle which Ieremiah sent unto them which were to be led captives into Babylon, by the king of the Babylonians, to certify them as it was commanded him of God, because of the sins which ye have committed before God. Ye shall be led away captives unto Babylon by Nebuchadnezzar king of the Babylonians. So when ye be come unto Babylon, ye shall remain there many years, and for a long season, namely 7 generations, and after that I will bring you away peaceably from thence. Now shall ye see in Babylon gods of silver, and of gold, and of wood borne upon shoulders, which cause the nations to fear. Beware therefore that ye in no wise be like to strangers, neither be ye afraid of them, when ye see the multitude before them, and behind them worshipping them. But say ye in your hearts, O Lord, we must worship thee. For mine angel is with you, and I myself caring for your souls. As for their tongue, it is polished by the workmen, and they themselves are gilded and laid o'er with silver, yet are they but false and cannot speak. And taking gold, as it were for a virgin that loosed to go gay, they make crowns for the heads of their gods. Sometimes also the priests canoe from their gods gold and silver, and bestow it upon themselves. Yea, they will do thereof to the common harlots, and deck them as men with garments, being gods of silver, and gods of gold, and wood. Yet cannot these gods saw themselves from rust and moss, though they be covered with purple raiment. They wipe their faces because of the dust of the temple, when there is much on them. And he that cannot put to death one that offendeth him, holdeth a scepter as though he were a judge of the country. He hath also in his right hand a dagger, and an axe, but cannot deliver himself from war and thieves, whereby they are known not to be gods. Therefore fear them not. For like as a vessel that a man saith, is nothing worth when it is broken, even so it is with their gods. When they be set VP in the temple, their eyes be full of dust, thor the feet of them that come in. And as the doors are made sure on your side, upon him that offendeth the king, as being committed to suffer death, even so the priests make fast their temples, with doors, with locks and bars, lest their gods be spoiled with robbers. They light them candles, yea, more than for themselves, whereof they cannot see one. They are as one of the beams of the temple. Yet they say, their hearts are not upon by things creeping out of the earth, and when they eat them in their clothes, they feel it not. Their faces are blacked, thor the smoke that comes out of the temple. Upon their bodies and heads sit baddies, swallows, and birds, and the cats also. By this you may know that they are no gods. Therefore fear them not. Notwithstanding the gold that is about them, to make them beautiful, except they wipe off the rust they will not shine, for neither when they were molten did they feel it. The things wherein there is no breath are bought for a most high price. They are borne on shoulders, having no feet, whereby they declare unto men that they be nothing worth. They also that sear them are ashamed, for if they fall to the ground at any time, they cannot rise VP again of themselves. Neither if one set them upright can they move of themselves, neither if they be bowed down, can they make themselves straight, but they set gifts before them as unto dead men. As for the things that are sacrificed unto them, their priests sell and abuse, in like manner their wise lay VP part thereof in salt, but unto the poor and impotent, they do nothing of it. Menstruous women, and women in childbed eat their sacrifices. By these things ye may know that they are no gods. Fear them not. For how can they be called gods? Because women set meat before the gods of silver, gold, and wood. And the priests sit in their temples, hawing their clothes rent, and their heads and beards shone, and nothing on their heads. They roar and cry before their gods, as men do at the feast when one is dead. The priests also take off their garments, and clothe their wives and children, whether it be ill that one doth unto them, or good. They are not able to recompense it. They can neither set Phoebe a king, nor put him down. In like manner, they can neither Jew riches nor money, though a man make a vow unto them, and keep it not, they will not require it. They can saw no man from death, neither deliver the weak from the mighty. They cannot restore a blind man to his sight, nor help any man in his distress. They can shew no mercy to the widow, nor do good to the fatherless. Their gods of wood, and which are overlaid with gold, and silver, are like the stones that be hewn out of the mountain. They that worship them shall be confounded. How should a man then think and say that they are gods, when you and the Chaldeans thus dishonor them, who if they shall see one dumby that cannot speak, they bring him and entreat Bel that he may speak, as though he were able to understand. Yet they cannot understand this themselves, and leo them, for they have no knowledge. The women also with cords about them, sitting in the ways, burn brand for perfume. But if any of them drawn by some that passeth by lie with him, she reproacheth her fellow that she was not thought as worthy as herself, nor her cord broken. Whatsoever is done among them is false. How may it then be thought or said that they are gods? They are made of carpenters, and goldsmiths. They can be nothing else. Then the workmen will how them to be, and they themselves that made them can nor continue long. How should then the things that are made of them be gods? For they left lies and reproaches to them that come after. For when there cometh any war or plague upon them, the priests consult with themselves, where they may be hidden with them. How then cannot men perceive that they be no gods, which can neither saw themselves from war nor from plague? For seeing they be but of wood, and overlaid with silver and gold, it shall be known hereafter that they are false. And it shall manifestly appear to all nations and kings, that they are no gods, but the works of men's hands, and that there is no work of God in them. Who then may not know that they are no gods? For neither can they set Phoebe a king in the land, nor Jew reign unto men. Neither can they judge their own cause, nor redress a wrong being able, for they are as crowds between heaven and earth. Whereupon when fire falleth on the house of gods of wood, or laid o'er with gold or silver, their priests will fly away and escape, but they themselves shall be burned asunder like beams. Moreover they cannot withstand any king or enemies. How can it then be thought or said that they be gods? Neither are those gods of wood, and laid o'er with silver or gold able to escape either from thieves or robbers, whose gold, and silver, and garments wherewith they are clothed, they that are strong do take, and go away withal, neither are they able to help themselves. Therefore it is better to be a king that showeth his power, or else a profitable vessel in an house, which the owner shall house of, than such false gods, or to be a dory in an house to keep such things safe as be therein, than such false gods, or a pillar of wood in a palace, than such false gods. For sun, moon, and stars, being bright and sent to do their offices, are obedient. In like manner the lightning when it breaketh forth is easy to be seen, and after the same manner the wind bloweth in your country. And when God commandeth the clouds to go o'er the whole world, they do as they are bidden. And the fire sent from above to consume hills and woods, doth as it is commanded. But these are like unto them neither in shew nor power. Wherefore it is neither to be supposed nor said, that they are gods, seeing they are able, neither to edge causes, nor to do good unto men. Knowing therefore that they are no gods, fear them not. For they can neither curse nor bless kings. Neither can they sickness in the hoens among the heathen, nor shine as the sun, nor dew light as the moon. The beasts are better than they, for they can get under a coward, and help themselves. It is then by no means manifest unto verses that they are gods. Therefore fear them not. For as a scarecrow in a garden of cucumbers keepeth nothing, so are their gods of wood, and laid o'er with silver and gold. And likewise their gods of wood, and laid o'er with silver and gold, are like to a white thorn in an orchard that jury bird sitteth on, as also to a dead body, that is cast into the dark. And you shall know them to be no gods, by the bright purple that rotteth on them, and they themselves afterward shall be eaten, and shall be a reproach in the country. Better therefore is the just man that hath none idols, for he shall be far from reproach.